Hey YouTube, your girl is back. Your girl is back with another YouTube video. Alrighty. So your girl Night and Jay is back with another YouTube video, and today we're gonna catch up with my girl Latrice. We're gonna catch up with Latrice. If you are listening to my beautiful voice right now and you are not subscribed, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on your post notifications. That way you'll be notified every single time I post. And if you are unable to catch me live tonight, no worries at all. No worries at all. Guess what? This video will be available for replay. Alrighty. So I am going to give everyone a few minutes to join. Good evening, Linda Johnson. Good evening. All righty. So I'm going to give everybody a few minutes and then we're going to go ahead and get started because, like I said, this will be available for replay, honey. And today we are going to catch up with my girl Latrice. We're going to talk about Latrice and the crew. We're going to talk about the relationship advice that the YouTube streets have for Coco and Lele. And we are going to get into it. Like I said, I'm not going to try to keep y'all too long. I know that today is Tuesday. It's 22. So this is it's supposed to be like a spiritual day, a good day. So I hope everyone had a really, really good day. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So the last time we talked about Latrice, it was a good minute ago. Like I said, I've been I took a little break from YouTube just because I've been busy handling business. I'm doing good, Linda Johnson. Thank you for asking. Hey, Darlene Brown. Hey, Queen. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank y'all so much for joining, honey. Thank y'all. But yeah, so like I said, it's been a minute since we caught up with my girl Latrice, but she has had a lot going on, honey, and so we're gonna get into it. Actually, it's really crazy because I was planning to go live and catch up with Latrice anyway, and then today I see the whole thing happen with her and Keisha T. So we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna get everybody's opinion, and we're gonna have a good old wonderful conversation today. So to start things off, honey. So my girl Latrice has had a lot going on per usual, the things that we're going to cover today as far as what she's been going through, her and B, sadly, her and B. Hey, Bessie Lewis. Well, thank you for your first time being here. Thank you for joining. And hey, Hortesia Harris, thank you. Thank y'all for watching tonight. But yeah, so we're going to talk about today, a little bit of the background with her and B falling out and that whole ordeal, her having a good time in Las Vegas with the crew, and then also, honey, her and hey, Blessing Alexander. It says, hey, let's talk about it. And don't let no hater, knots, or nor stalker distract you. I miss your lives. Thank you, girl. Thank you. I miss you too, honey. Your girl has been busy, child, so I'm definitely going to stay on topic tonight because the haters definitely will come in here and try to distract you, child. But tonight we're going to get into some things. So first things first, Latrice and B. Hey, Rudy. Hey, thank you for joining. Oh, you was in here last time. Thank you, Rudy. All righty. So Latrice and B have fell out, y'all. Latrice and B have fell out. Now here's the thing. And here's a little bit of background about it from what I gathered from watching their lives and things of that nature. Apparently, B is Latrice's friend who has been down, helping her with her warehouse, helping her around the house, and from the looks of it, Latrice was trying to get her warehouse together. According to B, I don't know what happened. She was trying to talk to Latrice about, hey, Tina Walker. But yeah, according to B, she was trying to talk to Latrice about an order that someone was saying was wrong or something of that nature. And I'm paraphrasing here, so don't quote me. But yeah, and I guess some type of argument kind of broke out, and Latrice texted B, and B, she told her, that the business relationship wasn't working, and she was not going to be able to allow her to work for her anymore. Latrice didn't really get into a whole bunch of background about why her and B fell out, but for the most part, it just seems like the working relationship was not working out. That's what I gathered from the back and forth. But since I understand being busy, you gotta do what you gotta do to stay successful in business. Exactly, honey. Okay. In order to stay afloat, you gotta be researching things, having your hands in a million different pots nowadays. Cause baby, if you just sit around and not do nothing productive, honey, you'll be out here struggling because the cost of living is crazy nowadays. I stay with some type of my hands in some type of pot trying to trying to keep it afloat because I like nice things. I'm like, honey, you need $1 million nowadays to have a comfortable life. Okay, life is expensive, so I stay busy, child. Hey, Queen T. Hey. But yeah, so what I gathered from the back and forth between B and Latrice falling out is it just seems like there was a little bit of friction and tension with the business relationship they had. And I've always said this from the beginning. Um Okay. Yeah, I always said this from the beginning. My girl Latrice, she's going to have to stop mixing business with pleasure. Just stop. Because every single time she tries to hire her friends to come work for her, every time she tries to offer to have her friends come in, every time she tries, hey Tanisha, hey, but yeah, every time she tries to, start the business relationship with her friends, it just goes left. So I would just say, like I said about the last time we talked about when Latrice fell out with Keisha T, I hope my girl don't hire no more of your friends. Just don't hire any more of your friends because obviously it just ain't gonna work. Look into your professional staffing company, revamp your business plan, figure out how you gonna make this work on your own with the team people who you particularly should not know personally because it just ain't gonna never work. Kimmy Walker says smoking and drinking with them. Well, yeah, and I don't judge her for doing that because I mean they were friends, you know what I'm saying? So they were, they've been lifelong friends, known each other, they were homies, but that's usually where it goes left. But like I said, Latrice really didn't get into too many specifics, but she just kind of gave a general overview that the business relationship just wasn't working, and people feel like because yeah, I definitely, yeah, I think that she's learned her lesson this time. I think that yes, Miss Darling, I think that if she doesn't get it, if she didn't get it before, I think she definitely gets it now. Um, but pretty much like I said, she didn't really get into a whole bunch of details. She just pretty much kind of grazed over it. B went back, I guess, to her hometown to I guess be with some family or something of that nature. I don't know. I think maybe B was posting her other friends, or maybe she made a post. I guess Latrice may felt like she was being shady, and it just became a whole back and forth, as it usually does with Latrice and her friends who she falls out with. It says, please be so jelly and not a friend. Now B's sister is casting spells on her and a Bronx girl. B got paid more than she was worth. Think about how long B was there, how much money. Okay, yeah, and I'm gonna get into it. Wow. Thank you, Kimmy Walker. Thank you. Everyone hit that like button. So I'm gonna get into it. Here is my general overview of Latrice and B falling out. It says, "Yep, yes, it is. I just spent 5,000 on my roof and 100 on repairs to my bathroom. It's rough. I I looked at my W-2s and I'm like, honey, where is all this money going? They say I'm making because it just seems like every time you turn around, it costs $200 to go outside. Okay." But yeah, here's my thing about the situation. I don't think it's a secret that, Latrice may be someone who, when it comes to her friends, they may have a hard time working for her because she is someone who has a lot going on. She has a lot on her plate and she gets frustrated very easily. And sometimes they can definitely go left. So am I saying that, there could not have been miscommunication between the both of them and it probably wasn't stressful for B working for her? It probably was definitely stressful because Latrice has a lot going on. But when Latrice and her friends fall out and they come to the internet and they try to make it seem like she's just a big bad wolf and she is a dictator and she thinks she's gonna talk to somebody any type of way and she sit on her phone all day and she do this. When they come to the internet and they bash her after the friendship is over or whatever, or after it's been put out there that they're not friends anymore, when they come with their response, everyone kind of comes with this same storyline as if they didn't have the choice as an adult to not come work for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you all obviously needed some type of assistance, for you all to be willing to drop everything and go work for her. Because yes, you love your friends and you want to be there for your friends and you want to help your friends, but it had to be something in it for you as well, for you to be willing to drop everything and go. Okay. All right. It says, yes, the cost of living out here in these brown folk streets ain't no joke. I just spent five. Child, it's a lot. It is a lot. Okay. It says, but she knew Treese was closing down. She trying to say she didn't know. She was trying to make people think she was doing good. Right. Like, I didn't, me personally, I didn't think that B was a malicious, evil person or whatever. I didn't really think that she was someone who was really trying to have it out for Treese. But when she went to saying, like, well, I had a job and I had benefits, and, she didn't tell me that the business was closing down, I would have never came. It's kind of like, well, clearly something was going on in your life, because why would you leave a job with full benefits, that was paying you good, that had your life stable? Why would you leave all of that to come work for your friend and get paid up under the table? So it's really not making sense. So I don't think that, B is being 100% transparent as well. The same thing with Keisha T. When they fall out with her, they try to make it seem as if they were doing her so much of a favor, but and the way I look at it, it's a favor for a favor. That's what it's seeming like to me. Because I'm sorry, I love my friends to death, but I'm not leaving my full-time job with benefits to come work for you. No, I'm not. Now I love you. I'll come work for you I'll come help you on the weekends. I'll come help you when I get a break. I'll be there for you and I'll support you. But as an adult, I don't think anybody would have made that decision. So clearly, if you were willing to take that much of a risk and drop everything that you had going on to come help her, then guess what? You more than likely, very much so, needed the help. It says, well, for a friend who knew Treese for so long, they should know how she is, how her trust was broken over and over. Of course, she's on 10. Right. Right. It's like, you all know what it is. You all know what it is. Yes, that's what I said. They all made choices. Right. It says, no one made her quit her job and stay as long as she did. Exactly. It says, we all knew that her business was closing. She had, yeah, and Latrice had already said that she was going to be closing the warehouse. When her and Coco, when they had the big falling out and everything went left, Latrice had already expressed her frustrations about the warehouse and how it's become to be so overwhelming. I mean, and if you were her friend and you knew the day in and day out, I'm pretty sure that you knew that it was a struggle for her to keep the business afloat. So, I mean, I'm just not buying that you were just completely blindsided. I'm not buying that. It says, I've just been watching Treese since 2019 and can see how Treese is. They should know her. They all want what she has and they use her point. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. It's I don't care what nobody say. B was trying to use Treese, take care of her bills back home. Yeah, B kids in the work and help out with the house. Yeah, like, because this is the thing. Am I saying that Latrice is a perfect angel that does no wrong? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Latrice clearly has issues, right? Just like anybody else. Everybody has that one person in their family or in their friendship or whatever, their sisterhood, brotherhood. Everyone has that one person who got a short temper, got a lot going on, is under a lot of stress, and they may be a difficult person to deal with on the day in and the day out. And you have to love that family, that friend, that sister, that brother, whoever. You have to just love them from a distance, because you already know they got a lot going on and how they get. And it's just like, for me, it's just like everyone who falls out with her, who has this falling out, is hey, bestie, my bestie in the chat tonight. Talita says, no one is making moves like that unless they had nothing going on. Exactly. Like, the narrative that you all felt sorry for her, so you all extended yourselves to her and she just used you all and she only wanted you all for content. Like, just give that up. Just give it up, because I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And no one else was buying, and no one else buys it either until the people fall out with Latrice, and then they all of a sudden start feeling sorry for these people. Because I don't care what anyone says. There is no way, no way that you had your life was 100% together and you had this job with benefits and you just was living la vida loca and you just felt so sorry, so sorry that you just came and wanted to help your friend. No, you knew that she had the ability to give you a public platform. You knew that by being with her, you would get the exposure. You know that she's someone who's very generous, who does not mind splurging on her friends, and you wanted to come and take advantage of that. You just did not know that coming into her world would be as stressful as it was. Point blank, period. It says, it seems to me every time Tree start messing with them, they all come with it's the same story. Everyone's storyline is the same. Oh my goodness, I was content. She was controlling. She talks about Coco all day long. Everyone has the same story, but you all, if this is the truth, you all knew this before you all encountered her. You all have been knowing her longer than we have known her. The public has known her. So you all knew what type of person she is. You all didn't feel like she was so evil and so bad when you voluntarily came to give up your life to be there for her. So there's no way that she just blindsided you and just treated you so bad. No. It says, plus, never had anyone love her unconditionally. She made it by herself. She has issues, but let's face it, look where she came from. She made it. Exactly. Like, one thing about Latrice, I will say, she definitely is a person with some issues. Most definitely. That goes without a shadow of a doubt with saying. She has a lot of issues, correct? She probably has, you can tell there's been a lot of trauma there. You can tell there's just a lot of things that she's been through, and she's still growing and trying to mold herself as a woman. Most definitely. But one thing about it, she is who she is, period. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it is laid out for all of us to see. And that's why, I can still watch her, because a lot of people feel like, oh, because she look like this or talk like this or handle her business like this, that no one should ever support her. But it's like, she is who she is, and and from what I see, for the most part, she is who she is authentically in her own lane until people come bothering her. Now is she it now it now did she have do I feel like the warehouse was a good idea? Do I feel like she ran that business smoothly? No. I think that she went about it the wrong way, because I feel like she should have had a professional staff in the first place. She should have consulted, maybe had a manager, maybe reached out to some, people in larger areas to help her along the way. But at the end of the day, she is who she is. It says, yes, they say Mark about to give more money. Yeah, that's what they saying. I heard that. And you guys, I have a business Facebook page as well. It's called Nianta J. I posted a few posts on there promoting my YouTube, but I'm going to start doing personal content on Facebook as well, because a lot of my family and friends are on Facebook. But Facebook has a nice little marketing tool that you can advertise your posts and things. So I'm gonna get into that as well. It's in the Facebook platform it's just like it's the same as my YouTube name, Nianta J. I don't think B is a bad person. I just think it was very irresponsible to just leave your job. I also think Treese got jealous when B went to spend time with her family. Treese yearns for family. Exactly. I think, and that's what I said. I think that B is a sweet person. So, not saying that I'm not. I wouldn't take it as far as to say that B is just evil and jealous. I don't think so. But I think that B is just like the other friends. I think that B may have been going through some things in her life. I feel like she probably felt for Treese. I feel like she probably looked at Treese as, hey, I scratched her back, she scratched mine. And when she got there to actually help, it was overwhelming for her. But instead of her, just kind of, owning that and being, transparent about that. Hey, who Kim? Hey, Beauty TJ. Hey. But yeah, instead of her being honest about that, I think she kind of copped out with the same story that everybody else had. Now, one thing I can say about B is, she seems to still have some type of integrity, because I know I know a lot of people were like, we're waiting on her to spill the tea. If she don't spill tea, we're gonna unsubscribe. You know what I'm saying? And I think that she, even though they said her sister did have some type of voodoo stuff going on, but I don't think that she has completely played into the narrative that people want her to. So, I mean, from what I've seen, so that's a respectful thing, but I don't think she's all bad. I just think that she's not being transparent about the fact that she also probably needed help as well. All right. It says, and I believe B was talking about her back when she was living there. Now look how B talked to C now. That's a possibility. Definitely a possibility. And I think that, and as far as Treese being jealous, I don't think that Treese is more so jealous. I just think that Treese has trust issues. I will say that. I think that Treese has trust issues, and I feel like she gets her feelings hurt very easily when people aren't doing exactly what she wants them to do. And I think that she has it's probably a little bit of trust issues, a little bit of attachment issues because of her background and what she's been through. So do I think that she was jealous that B went to be with her family? No, but I think that she probably felt the type type of way, or she probably felt like B maybe was trying to shade her when she posted her other sisters or her friends or whatever happened. Maybe so. Would I say she's jealous of B? No, but will I say that, she can be very sensitive and very territorial when she lets people into her circle? Most definitely. It says, bottom line, Trees had no education. All that trauma never got help because nobody loved her to help her. I always will respect her for trying to make money moves. Right. That's one thing I can say. She's definitely tried to get it out the mud. Has she made, hey, Joanna, has she made the best decisions? Absolutely not. But has she got out here and tried to grind and tried to build an empire off her own back and her own name? Most definitely, So, whereas she does some things that is like, oh, Trees, why you said that? Now, why you did that, Trees? Definitely, she does some things that make you cringe. But at the same note, one thing about it, she's authentically who she is, and she has been grinding for a long time before Coco, before any of this drama stuff was going on. She's been authentically trying to get her life together. She just needs some guidance. It says also B is just trying to string everyone along until she get that 10 subs, then she'll make up some crap. Yeah, that's a possibility. But like I said, I think that it was a big misunderstanding with her and B, and I hated to see their relationship go left because I'm like, dang, another one bites the dust. And it is so funny because the same people that were dogging B out and calling her slow and talking about her like a dog, now they're rooting for her, but then admitting that, all right, now B, we want to see you spill some tea or we can't support you. That's just sad. Like, it's either you're gonna support the lady or you're not. If you're only supporting her because you think she's finna spill some tea on Latrice, then you need to reevaluate how deep you are into this internet, into the internet, because it ain't never that serious. If she spill it, she spill it. If she don't, she don't. It says Beauty TJ. Treese is very sensitive. She loves hard and quickly gets defensive before understanding the situation. Right. Yeah, I don't, and that's what I'm saying. I think that Treese is just someone who is, territorial. When you come from nothing and when you come from a place where you've had to struggle and fight, and you come from a place of mistreatment and a place where people are doubting you, and when you come from that type of place where it's like a dog eat dog world, then you will carry on some character traits, or you will carry on some things or some habits that are unhealthy. And the way that you bond with people and the way that you connect with people and love on people can be toxic sometimes. You may get territorial, you may get easily offended, you know what I'm saying, because you don't want to ever feel like somebody's playing you. And I think that's where Trees is. So I wouldn't say that she's jealous, but I really do feel like she, there's some trauma there. And she has these trauma connections with people that she's been known from. And I feel like that's why she keeps reaching out to people who are struggling, her friends that she knows is having a hard time. Because it's kind of like, we were struggling together. I remember us struggling together. I remember us stealing together. I remember this. So now let's eat together. So I think that her intentions are pure when she reaches out to these people, because she looks at it like, hey, look, you scratch my back, you help me build my platform, I help you build yours, we eat together. But I think her emotions and her feelings get in the way of the business, and it just ruins everything. Yeah. It says B don't have no T, she just need that Facebook money. It says you don't have to, hun. I always believe what you believe. That's what makes the world. Yeah. Yeah. It says I've been where Treese is at. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a little, like I said, Treese is not 100%. I'm not saying she's 100% angel, but I do feel like, the situation with her and B is like, is I feel like B definitely went there trying to genuinely help, but she also needed help herself as well. And I think that Treese genuinely liked it. B, I don't think she was jealous of her, but I do think that, she was easily offended or rubbed the wrong way when B went back to be with her family. I guess she probably felt like B was trying to be shady, and that's where everything just went downhill. It says, knowing how Tracy is, they all enjoy the luxury of being around her without no problem. But when she sees things she don't like and voice her opinion, exactly. That's another thing. I think that Tracy is very generous. I think that she is, someone who, if you come around her, they already know what time is. They already know she got everything. But one thing she gonna do is speak her mind. One thing she gonna do is call out what she don't see, something that she see. If she sees something that she doesn't feel like is right, she's gonna call it out. And I think that they can't handle that. But if you know that you can't handle how strong her personality personality is. If you know you can't take all that, then that's where you got to be the adult and say, you know what, I love you, girl, but I gotta love you from a distance, you know. So it's kind of like they always try to paint this picture that she's so terrible and she tries to just use her money to control them. But you all are adults as well. You know what I'm saying? You know how you know how to put your foot down and be like, look, I love you, girl, but you know, we gonna love each other from a distance. Hey, the real CC. Hey, I'm sorry, the real Reese. Hey, the real Reese. All righty. It says she does take it too far. The trauma needs to be worked on. Anyone would feel some type of way. So-called friends turn on her. Plus, look at what those haters do, calling defects. They call on the dog. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, she gotta. Well, I just think that she has to understand that God has elevated you to a place in life, that He's blessed you tremendously, and you have to be very mindful of what you let around you. You have to be very mindful of what you indulge in. You have to be very mindful of what you say out of your mouth. You have to be very mindful of what you entertain, because when your bank account elevates, when He blesses you with these material things, it's time for you to mentally elevate as well. And I can see in some of her videos and some of her lives, I think she's getting it and she's trying to get there, but then it takes that one thing to set off, and then it just goes straight to hell. So I think that she's gonna have to understand that, hey, I'm elevating now. I gotta think different. I gotta move different. I gotta have patience. I gotta really sit down and think things out and do things differently, because I can allow all this drama and all this negativity to ruin my brain. I don't think B has any tea either. Yeah, I don't really think she has much tea. Not any tea that ain't nobody else said already. Exactly. That's how it should go. Treese even said it herself. Yeah. She's always under attack. It would, yeah. And that's the truth. Like, if you look around, and that's what I was saying, in some of my other videos, if people literally put a hidden camera in our cars, in our bedrooms, in our house with us 24/7, we would probably go crazy as well, having to hear the public opinion of everybody every single day. That's why I don't, even though, I really want to, I'm getting into YouTube and I'm loving the platform that I'm building, but I'm like, could I really do this like every day, all day? Could I literally do this social media thing every day, all day with no breaks? I don't know if I could do it. I'll be quite honest, because it can really get draining just from looking from the outside looking in. I could not imagine people nitpicking and criticizing me for every little thing I do. That has to drive people crazy. All right. As I pray for her every day, just to have one normal person to guide her right. Yeah, Joanna, more money, more problems. And that's come with a lot of celebrities. Miss Latrese, his wife, she broke down crying one day on live, and she was just talking about how people are so mean and people are so judgmental. And these people are millionaires. I mean, these people have everything they can think of. And oh my God, prayers for Latrese as well, because he just found out he has cancer. So we definitely keep their family in your prayers, because I really like them as a couple. I do. I love their family unit. But yeah, she even broke down and she was just saying how, her husband, they try to be creative, they try to give creative content, they try to do skits, and it's like people just always have something negative to say. But then when they're giving out money, you know what I'm saying, when they're doing giveaways, when they're paying rent, people are here for them. But then as soon as they do the good deeds, people are right back to bashing them, and it gets overwhelming because these people are human. They really are. Hey, first baby mama. And says, I really hate when something happens that's always, and yeah, it's just like every time. And, I'm not gonna say she's perfect or she's innocent. She definitely does contribute to, these fallouts. But it's kind of like we not gonna keep spinning the same narrative, because all of y'all just gonna keep walking yourself into the same situation after y'all have seen this play out over and over again. Yeah, you got to have some thick skin to be on this internet on a daily basis. So I even though, like I said, that's why I try to have my hands in different pots. I like to do the social media thing. The social media thing. I still do my corporate America thing. I still have me a little side hustle. I still look into other things. Like, I even got certified to do lashes, y'all. I be over here doing some everything. That's why I said I'm gonna create. I'm gonna start posting more of my personal content on my Facebook page and try to get that monetized, so that people can kind of get to know me a little bit better. Because I be trying to think of different ways to do things, but I think that it's important to have multiple ways to get the bag and not just social media, because social media doing this every single day. Oh my god, I don't see how people do it, because I'm like having people rip you to shreds for everything. It's definitely draining. It says I unfollowed 3 YouTube channels today. I'm sick of them. Yeah. Yeah, definitely prayers for Mr. and Miss Latrese. I love them, and I hate that, but God has him covered. He's gonna be fine. But I just hate that they have to be under that stress. But yes, I love them. It says that's needed for her. I pray that she finds her some really good, loyal, loving friends. But she also got to be the same to them and not treat them like slaves. It's all about respect and love. Right, blessing. Right, you said on the nail. What she has to understand is, people like balance, and I understand that you may be coming from a good place by wanting to help your friends, but you have to understand that these people are humans too, and they have a life too, and so you have to have your business organized and have your stuff together before you just invite people in and thinking they just gonna do this, that, and third and not get tired. People are human too. They get tired too. If they're not waking up with any real structure and they don't really have a set to-do list and they don't know when their day is going to start or end, that could get overwhelming for them as well. So I think it's going to take a little bit of give and take as well on that, because I see Trees does like to kind of like invite her friends in, and they go from homegirl hanging out, and we having a good time, we vibing, we cooling, to they have to be her personal assistant 24/7. And that is a big jump. That is a big jump. That can be a lot to digest. So what she has to do is create a business plan, sit down and create a vision for how you want your business to go. What do you want to do? And create a schedule and create a framework so that there's balance for anyone who works for you. Because everyone gets tired. So she is also going to have to understand that, that's why I say, I know you love your friends, but find another way to help them. Maybe you're going to have to just go bless them, go back to your hometown, take them out on the weekend and have a good time. And then when it comes to the business side of it, you got to get somebody who you're not personally connected to. So that way, when you need them to do X, Y, Z, they don't take it personal, because it's just a job, you know? It says in each one of them run make pay so they can benefit. Right. So it's kind of like, everyone in this situation is like, anytime that Latrice falls out with one of her friends, like everyone is always ready to put all of this on her. And don't get me wrong, she carries some responsibility in the situation, because we see the day in and day out, and we can see, sometimes we can kind of see some of this stuff coming, right? But still at the same time, these people aren't 100% innocent either, because they knew what they were walking themselves into. It says Tree should have those that work for her fill out a work application with requirements. She should do a background check and not hire friends or family. Friends or family, just that. Exactly. That's what I said. I said it a long time ago. She needs to look into a professional staffing company. First of all, figure out what you're truly passionate about. Figure out what you really want to do. Because I think a lot of times when people get kind of big on social media, they start kind of doing like different things, trying to just generate more income. And sometimes it's things they're not really passionate about. And even with me, I have to be careful, because I found myself out here paying $350 for a lash class. Oh, this girl teach for how to braid hair, let me go pay for that. And I had to slow myself down, like, wait, what are you really passionate about? And sometimes it's not all about making money, but it's about what are you really going to feel like devoting your time to. So I think that she should just really just sit down and really figure out what direction she wants to take the Real Comedian Latrice Allen brand, and figure out what direction she wants to go with that first. Hire a professional staffing company, and then hire some strangers. Do the background check, make sure there ain't anybody crazy, and do it like that. Because me personally, I feel like, because you can do other things like to make money. Like I have a few apps on my phone. You have the Robinhood, Acorns. You can invest in the stock market, and flip it like that. And she could just do her, go back to doing her cooking videos, or do some skits. But I think in my opinion, just looking at it, I don't think the whole warehouse selling merchandise thing, I don't think that was her thing. I don't think that was something that she was truly passionate about. I think that she can just capitalize off of the social media thing, and then maybe have some investments on the side in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like have some background investments, so that your money gonna be solid without social media, right? Because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, you know. So have some a little, you know, maybe get a rental property or here to, a rental property or two, or like she said she was going to Airbnb the home that she owns, you know, have that on the side going on in the background, and then just really, you know, put in the work on social media and capitalize off of that. You know, because this the warehouse thing, I don't think that was her thing. In my, it just from the outside looking in, to me, it just doesn't seem like something that was working out for her and fit her lifestyle, because she's a busy woman. And when you are selling merchandise and doing retail, you have to have the time to dedicate to that, you know. So that was a rundown on her and B. Now, in more recent times, honey, let's move on to what just happened a couple hours ago, honey. Keisha T went live, you guys. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay, y'all. Sorry about that. But I didn't mean, and she didn't go live. I'm sorry. She made a post. Keisha T made a post on she made a post on, I think it was Facebook, and she said that she's going to jail, and she is accusing Latrice of calling her probation officer. Let me see if I can find the post and what it said. Let me see. Yeah, here it goes. Let's see here. And I'm just gonna read a little bit of it, but she said, I gotta go to jail, y'all. A few calls was made on me to my probation officer. I can just imagine the extra lies that was told on me, and we all know who did this. Um, she said, I can't say I don't feel no type of way, but I don't feel the way that the enemy wants me to feel. The enemy wants me to go back, and I'm not going back. Blah blah blah. This just a minor setback for a major comeback. So pretty much, in summary, you guys, she said she's going live later. She got a couple more days to be free. And she said somebody's gonna be holding her platform down, and pretty much she said that anybody gonna keep controlling her. She's gonna go live and she's gonna tell it all, pretty much. So Keisha T is now alleging that Latrice has called her probation officer on her and has gotten her in some trouble. And here's what I feel about that. Um Now, when Keisha T and Latrice got into it, it did get ugly. They were going back and forth. And, you know, Latrice, you know, does a lot of times, you know, say that things are going to happen to her enemies. You know, we ain't going to act like Latrice, you know, she'll wish some on somebody in a heartbeat, most definitely. But Latrice went live and, you know, she said that she had nothing to do with it. She said she's not standing that. She said she did not call Keisha T's probation. She wouldn't do anything like that. She's gonna let God handle Keisha T and anybody else who has been bothering her. She said that, you know, there are more people that hate Keisha T than just her. And she said that she didn't do it. That's what she's saying. Her story is she didn't do it. She's letting God handle it. And, you know, let's see, Darlene says, I don't believe that was Treese. If Treese gonna do that, why wait? So exactly. And that's what I was just about to say. Yeah, blessing. She definitely was better off when it was her and her kids doing their cooking videos, going to get them blue crabs, her making like the little freezy cups. That was, you know, that was her at her prime. That was some of her best content. I think that she should get all her kids back in one household. I feel like she should go mend things with Courtney, get everybody back together, and just do the family content and make some side investments that nobody knows about. I think that is going to be her best route. But with her and Keisha T, do I think that she called Keisha T probation officer? I don't really think so. I think that so much goes on with Latrice on a day to day. Is one day is Keisha T, one day is Coco, one day is Lele. I mean, I feel like she gets into it with so many people that I just don't see her having the time to sit down and trying to call Keisha T's probation officer. I just don't see that. Now I could understand how Keisha T would feel that it was her, right? Because they did have a little nasty back and forth, and they did you know, have it out with each other. And I think Latrice said that she was on drugs and she was on papers and things. So they did have a pretty nasty falling out. So I'm not gonna act like I don't completely understand why Keisha T would think it was her. But what I feel like what Keisha T has to understand as well is you can't simply just go to jail from someone calling a probation officer or calling with whoever on you. You're not going to simply just go to jail based on that. So if you are actually going to jail, that means that there was something going on your end that you weren't handling. And knowing, if before you're going to create a large platform, you got to make sure you have crossed all your I's and dotted all your T's and have yourself together, because people do take sides, especially when you're involved in drama. People take sides. People are malicious. People are nasty. So there's very much so a possibility that it wasn't Treese, but it could be people that support her that just want to be malicious. Now, is it unfortunate, and that she may have to go to jail? Very much so unfortunate, because we're all human, and people are human. People are gonna It says, but everybody need to understand that this is not what this lady wanted. Coco did this to her, and it started from there. I'm telling you, I've been through this. If you ever been through this, you understand, right? And that's definitely understandable. Like, this really went completely left with the relationship with Coco. I'm pretty sure that she regrets ever even giving him the time of day, because this Coco situation has been it has caused everything to spiral out of control. And the first thing that people do when they fall out with her is they piggyback off of that hate train of that situation. But as far as Keisha T accusing her of, doing that, it's kind of like, well, Keisha, what, this hopefully she don't have to go to jail. Hopefully she don't, because like I said, who wants to go to jail? Even if you pee dirty, I'm not gonna judge her for that. We human people. People still smoke weed or do whatever when they're on probation. However, when you are indulging in the back and forth, and you are indulging in the drama with this lady, then you don't know who could be coming for you. You don't know who could be gunning with you, because when Latrice's address was getting leaked, and when Latrice defects was getting called on her and her kids, and she thought it was, happening because of Coco and this, that, and the third, everyone was telling her, well, you ain't got no proof. You don't know who did it. You don't do, everyone was telling her that she needed to be quiet because she didn't have no proof. She don't know who did it. So when this happens with Keisha T, we can't just pin it all on Treese just because her and Treese have the back and forth. Because when Treese was trying to pin things on Coco that was happening to her, nobody wanted to hear it. So that's my only thing. Do I want to see Keisha T go to jail? No. But at the end of the day, we can't just automatically assume that this is Treese. You know what I'm saying? We can automatically assume that, because you are involved in a public back and forth on a consistent basis with this woman, and you are aligning yourselves with people who don't like her, people who once hated her guts and all of that, and people feel a type of way about that. So who knows who called? Some people, and let's just be all the way honest. When Keisha T was buddy with Latrice, and when she was cool with Latrice, people didn't like her then, and was probably trying to dig up her information then. People were speculating that she looked like she had a drug problem then. People were talking about her like a dog then. So don't act like that Latrice is started any type of speculations against you, because people were whispering about, is she on drugs, is she on paper, do she got a problem? People were saying that before her and Latrice ever fell out. It says, I truly don't believe Treese did that. Not on probation. It could be anything. Now she's posting trying to put in people's head it was Treese. Yeah, I don't think that she would have done that. I definitely don't. Because like I said, people have been giving Keisha T the side eye. They give anybody the side eye that has been hanging with Treese. And even then, going on to Latrice going to Vegas. Latrice goes to Vegas. She has a good time. Chef Carmen comes down. And I like Chef Carmen. I think Chef Carmen is a sweet lady. But even look at that. Now that Chef Carmen is showing Treese love and supporting Treese and hanging out with her and kicking it, now they want to dog her out. Now they want to talk about her. Now they want to drag her through the mud. And Chef Carmen is a sweet lady. I don't watch her religiously. I found her page through Treese, but she ain't out here, be acting ridiculous. She's on here minding her business. Lesson says she was already going to jail, period. More than likely, she was on probation, violating her probation. Exactly. It's kind of like, I hate that she got to go to jail if that's happening, but ma'am, someone calling your probation officer is not the reason why you're getting locked up. If you're getting locked up, it's because, there's a violation somewhere in place. So at some point, you have to take some accountability for not getting that cleared up as well. Perfect example that they don't like when Treese. Yeah, it's like, if and the crazy thing about it is that, like I said, the internet is a wild place that people get heavily and overly invested, because if when people thought that Chef Carmen and Latrice had an issue, they loved Chef Carmen, they praised Chef Carmen, they were, oh, Chef Carmen got her stuff together, she's more successful than Latrice. They were praising Chef Carmen to the moon when they felt like her and Latrice had an issue way back when. But now that she's showing Latrice love, and now that she's, just hanging out with her, everyone has an issue with Chef Carmen. What is wrong with Chef Carmen wanting to be with her friend? What is wrong with her, Jamie, like, she knows Latrice when the cameras are off. She knows her behind the scenes. She's been in her home. She's been around her on several occasions. If she still wants to befriend her and be cool with her and hang out with her, why can't she? You can be cool with and hang with whoever you want to. Yeah, and Keisha T, yeah, they were always. That's what I'm saying. I'm Keisha T. I can understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, Keisha T, these people have been speculating and been trying to put you on drugs and been saying stuff about you before Treese, when you was cool with Treese. They've been giving you the side eye. Ain't no telling who been behind the scenes looking your information up, trying to get you in some trouble. And me personally, if I had something going on with my probation officer, or if I had something happening, I would have just go ahead and got it cleared up before anybody could even do anything about it. I said, Beauty TJ says, I think Chef is a positive person that's making money just like Trees. They have similar interests and could be a positive. Exactly. Chef Carmen is a boss. She seems to be a boss up lady out here doing her own thing. She looks like she likes to have a good time. She looks like she's spontaneous, and I think that it's positive that they're being around each other. You see that Chef Carmen knows how to go do her own thing. She knows how to stay out of the mess. She knows how to kind of like, when she don't really get on there and try to egg anything on or be messy. She comes around with good vibes, and I don't see a problem with her, hanging with Treese. I mean, they are acting as if she is undeserving of, having friends. Like, people are still going to rock with her just because she's not your cup of tea, just because you don't like her, just because you wouldn't hang with her. That doesn't mean that she can't have friends. Yeah, since they mad because she's not doing what they want. Exactly. It says Casey all in the camera being illegal, right? So it's kind of like, people are evil. People are malicious. People could simply see you smoking weed, hear you say that you are on probation, and could call the probation officer for that. Anything could transpire. So when you put yourself in front of the public eye, people are gonna do anything to try to bring you down. So you can't just pin that on one person because you don't know who it was. You know. So yeah, so that's what's been going on with Latrice, honey. So now we're gonna see how that plays out. Like I said, Treese said that she didn't do it. She says, she don't have time for that. And she was just pretty much saying, she was on her live. Like I said, for the most part, I understood where she was coming from. Now, like I said, I wish she would be kind of careful with, trying to, kind of, because what Treese is trying to say is, hey, God got me covered. The things that are happening to them, that's going to happen to them because of what they got going on. That has to do with me. God going to get them. But you have to be careful with saying stuff like that as well, because you don't want to make it seem like you're wishing something on somebody either. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was Treese, I would just simply clear it up if it needs to be cleared up, and then don't say anything else, because you don't want to be saying stuff and having people feel like, oh, well, you wishing this on them, or if something do happen, then they're gonna say that you had something to do with it. It says, and poor Lele, she need to stop. She really thinks Tree's after her, but no, that's Coco. Yeah, too many sheep and not enough shepherds. Right. All right. So we're gonna move on to Coco and Lele. So that's the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to Latrice and the crew, honey. Right. But yeah, so now Coco and Lele as well. So pretty much to sum it up, Tree's been living her life, but now it's something that has been popped off with her and Keisha T. So we're gonna stay tuned for that. But Coco and Lele, honey, Coco and Lele have been a hot topic on these YouTube streets these last few days. And I saw that there are now more people, like more women, Creating platforms, just trying to give Miss Lele some encouraging words or trying to give her some motivation and trying to get her to see that this situation with Coco is just toxic and it's not good for her. And I'm going to give my perspective on that. Now, I'm not in the business of telling people to leave a man, right? Because just like Latrice and Coco, Lele and Coco is just another case of a toxic couple, right? You know what I'm saying? They just another toxic couple, and we see it every day in our real lives. But it is unfortunate to Blessing says it baffles me that these folks are out here hating this lady hard. Hell, they even take the crazies to their therapist. Exactly. Like it is sick, Blessing. Like it is like y'all really have an issue with this lady. And it's like, what? I just don't understand. But yeah, so a lot of people have been coming to the forefront. Like a lot of channels have been really getting upset with the whole Coco and Lele situation and speaking out about it. So pretty much Coco, he was on live a day or two ago, and he pretty much was upset again. Like, this is the thing. If the majority of your time spent on social media, you're upset, or you're frustrated, or you're lashing out, or you're having to cuss somebody out or go in on somebody, then you need to take a step back and revisit what you want to build your channel off of, because Coco is the most angriest person I know. But you're angry, but you willingly built your platform off of anger and hate. So you built your platform off of anger and hate and ridicule of a black woman. That's what you built your platform off. But you're upset because it's always something. You're upset because Lele is watching the reaction videos and she has an opinion about it. You're upset because people in the comments have an opinion about it. You're upset because your pages get reported. You're upset because people in the people stop supporting. But you literally built your platform off of negativity. So what are you expecting, sir? Right, Miss Arlene. Yeah. Blessing says, it baffles me how these gutter snakes hate so much on trees. I mean, they even take the medicine therapist telling them it helps with their healing and grieving. Like, oh my God, very, very scary. Very, very scary. So yeah, so he went live, and he basically was saying that he's sick of everything, he's tired, he wants everybody to stay away from him and leave him alone. And he told Lele to leave him the F alone. He was like, stay the F away from me. And it's kind of like, every week, and like I said, we know couples that are toxic in real life, right? So they're human, they're going to have issues in the relationship. However, it's like every week you and your girlfriend have some type of situation going on, and it's okay if y'all have fault makeup and breakups. But some type of way, it all boils back down to your ex-girlfriend, and in some type of way, whatever argument y'all have, or whatever drama y'all got going on that week, it then turns into Lele putting the focus back on Latrice and blaming Latrice. That's from what I have been seeing. And it's kind of like, no, ma'am, this relationship with this man is just toxic because it's built off of toxicity. Okay. It says he's upset because he wants $1 million. Right. Lele says she got a lawyer, but she better not be too happy because I believe her lawyer not going to find Treese. That's I believe her lawyer is not going to find what this Treese is doing to her. Right. So yeah, and it's like every week is something. And he's, basically expressing his unhappiness with her and how she's handling everything. And then, is, him basically saying that he's over and he's sick of her. And then, later on, we see her in the background eating her food, looking sad. And it's just like, I usually, when it comes to people in their relationships and what they're going through, usually I try to buy my business, because it's like, if you like it, homegirl, I love it. But it's like, we're not going to keep blaming the downfall of this relationship on the Latrice, because then Lele spoke out, and she pretty much, she went live and she was pretty much saying that, it's sad how, black people can't come together, and how, everyone's so evil to each other, and her and Coco's relationship, is going through so much because this is God. When something is ordained by God, God is, the devil's gonna test it, and Latrice annihilated Coco, and and it's like, girl, listen. Lele is blind to a lot of things. Yeah, she is. She definitely is. Lena says, then slaps her butt for confirmation. I thought that was so distasteful. Yeah, and it's like, it's just cringy to watch because it's like, homegirl, okay. At this point, are, are you willing to literally base your entire relationship off of whatever happened between your man and his ex-girlfriend? How many weeks are we going to see him get on here, say he can't deal with you because you don't know how to deal with the drama, basically blame you for how overwhelming everything is getting, and then put everybody in your business? You have to come on here, you have to explain, you have to be slick embarrassed, you blame Treese and you say it's all Treese's fault, and then y'all make up, and it happened again, and it happened again, and it happened again. And if that's your thing and that's your man and you're gonna stand beside him, cool, do that. But if you're going to do that, then stop blaming Latrice. If you are willing to be in a relationship with a man who is okay with continuing a platform that is fueled from the hate and the disdain for his ex-girlfriend, and if he is hell-bent on feeding into the hate and the disdain for his ex-girlfriend, and if he is hell-bent on continuing to feed into the drama because that's what lines his pockets, if that's going to be his career choice, then we're gonna have to stop blaming Latrice. We're gonna have to stop saying it's her fault, and we're just gonna have to own the fact that we're with a toxic man who has made his living off of tearing down a black woman, and you riding with it and just be quiet. Because I mean, you gotta pick a side. You gotta pick a side. It says she speaks a good game, but then she contradicts herself in the same breath when her supporters hype her up. Right. It says, then Lele say Coco like this because of Trees. No, your man is a exactly. He is a narcissist. Like, you cannot blame his toxic behavior and his toxic ways on Latrice. Let's just keep it all the way 100. Him and Latrice weren't even together that long. Okay, like, it's one thing if him and Latrice were together for years and years and years, but no, this man was with her for a split second for a check. We cannot continue to blame her for his toxic ways. Lele is not used to healthy relationships and a healthy life. She's about the same BS with him. None of them have no reason to hate on this lady, especially when they do not know her at all. Exactly. It's like, if you're someone who is because she spoke a real good game about how, black people, we don't know how to agree to disagree, and we don't know how to forgive each other. We don't know how to just have simple disagreement without being hateful. I mean, she spoke a really, really good game about that, but it's kind of like, but ma'am, your man is over here admitting that he is going to continue to feed into the bullshit for the check. And so I don't know how much of a peaceful situation you think you're gonna have with him. So instead of trying to convince your audience that this is all Latrice's fault, no, this is your man's fault, because instead of him being a real man and changing the narrative and creating a peaceful environment for you all and shutting down the negativity and making sure that you all have a new avenue that you all can go down as a couple, and instead of making his platform about you and him and the love that you all have, he wants to continue to piggyback off of the hate of his ex-girlfriend. It says she sure does, beauty. That's why I can't listen to her. Right. Yeah, it is crazy. It's like, we can't keep blaming everything on Latrice. And everybody who fall out with her, she talk about them people every day. She talk about this every day. But they bother her every day from what it looks like. Every time something happens to a page, every time something doesn't go Coco well over there, it's always some way is spiraling back to the situation with him and Latrice, as if this lady does not have every right to not like this man. This man literally laid up with her for a check, used her, and then exploited and embarrassed her. Ma'am, like, come on. She got mad when that lady V went live and said what she said about him. What she said about? I'm sorry, I'm stuttering, y'all. They don't even have enough history with each other for him to go so hard for a whole lady. Exactly, like you was with this lady for a hot minute. You was with her for in a blink of an eye. This one, I could see if this was your ex-wife and you invested everything into her and she ruined your life. But sir, this was a lady who you linked up with because you knew she had some money. You used her for a check. You thought you was gonna get that bag up off her, and she came in and dogged you out. Get over it. You get over it. You got what you deserve. Any grown man laying up with a woman, trying to use her, taking advantage of her, then thinking it's funny, then coming onto the internet to brag about it, you deserve whatever disrespect came your way, sir. You deserve it. Because you put yourself in a distasteful situation. I wish I would be a grown man laying up on somebody because they got some money. No, I can get out here and get it on my own. I don't need your money, ma'am. I don't want you. Once you got where, and I'm pretty sure he didn't know a lot about her, or he didn't know, he probably in the beginning he probably went there trying to fill out, trying to see, what she was gonna be like. But once you realized she wasn't your cup of tea, instead of continuing to stay there for the check until you got put out, you should have just walked away. It says, personally, I can't watch none of them unless I watch clips from the reaction channels. When you stop watching these folks, then that's extra room talk about something else versus them. And I don't. Um, it says, when you stop watching these folks, then that's extra room to talk about something else versus them. And I don't share. Yeah, I have to catch up with the reaction channels too. I do have to catch up because I just can't sit there through a whole live. And it seems like Lele is like, she doesn't seem to be just a terrible person. She seems like she's a very smart individual who has the potential to have a really good head on her shoulders. But it's like, you cannot let this man's going to single-handedly ruin every piece of every the peace and the stability that you seem like you're trying to establish. He's going to ruin that because he doesn't know how to let it go. Hey, Bliss Holly, thank you for joining. But yeah, it's kind of like, she always tries to find a way to blame it on Latrice. But if you were in Latrice's shoes, you would react. And I don't think that she probably would do or say everything like Latrice did, but you would be hurt as well. I feel like a lot of these women in this situation who, oh, she talked about him and she did him so wrong. It's like, okay, so you all mean to tell me that you all would have grace and mercy on someone who played you like that? You would just take that to the chin and move on. No, you would be hurt as well because we're all human. Right. I only watch reaction channels. They spend hours on live talking about absolutely nothing. Right. Yeah. I can't sit there for them hours and hours. I have to come on YouTube and catch up. But yeah, it's kind of like, stop trying to, if you stop trying to convince everyone that the reason why this man is continuously getting on here being disrespectful to you is because of his ex-girlfriend. No, it's just because he's a disrespectful person. It's because this is his character. It's because this is his motive. This man was fresh out of prison, and instead of him, getting out here working hard, trying to change, now, and I ain't gonna say, now I don't know him in and out, right? So I don't know his personal life, but what I'm saying is, instead of him, getting out here being positive, trying to just, grind and get to it, and really getting really focused, he out here playing in the YouTube streets and in Facebook streets with his ex-girlfriend, eating off her name and humiliating her, like, and he's getting enjoyment off of it. There was even a live of him, kind of bragging about how people, got him into the apartment, and some people added him to his life insurance. Some women added him to their life insurance or whatever. And it's just like, it's for people to be that invested in him and to be that, and it's okay for people to have support because he could be a likable person. I don't watch enough of him to know, every in and out. But for people to be out here adding him to life insurance or adding him to wheels, adding him to their wheel, for people to be out here adding him to their wheel, a complete stranger that you don't know, child, please. And that the folks need to wake up. I truly do not believe he has a court date, nor a lawyer, nor a case. I could be mistaken, but he never goes to court, but assists asking for money, and they give like that. Yeah, that could definitely be possible because he always. Like, sir, well, when you going to court? She just accused Treese of sending a message to her family. Mm. Yeah, so it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. But yeah, a lot of women are coming out and they are giving Lele advice and really just trying to tell her do better. And I think that, he went live and he pretty much was basically saying, like leave him alone. He's sick of all of it and he's sick of her and this, that, and third. And I'm just like, sir, this is what you signed up for. This is what you want. This is what you instigated. It'd be different if you were somewhere minding your business and people brought this to you. But no, you literally rounded up a whole bunch of women who are desperately looking for the attention of a man and desperately ready to see somebody bash another black woman. You rounded up all these women and had a field day with attacking and bashing and tearing out another black woman, and that fueled your desire to make this a full-time career so that you can continue to eat off of it, because there are some women out here who are crazy enough to continue to pay you to entertain them with degrading your ex-girlfriend. And that's crazy. Because he doesn't want the best for her. He gets on her live video just to block her support. Yeah. I'm with you when you're right. He do court on live. That's how he doing court. Is here where I live too. Yeah. But yeah, we gotta see how this thing play out. Like I said, some of this drama is just gonna be never ending, and it's sad that there used to be a time when I first started watching Trees. It was so enjoyable just sitting there watching her just cut the food, eat them crabs, like make the juice with her kids, like in the living room, all them eating, to having fun. Diamond would come over, they would tell stories. It says the behavior he put on that night was unreal. Yeah, at this point, it's kind of like, and she just be sitting there looking like, I'm like, well, girl, honey. I mean, all I'm saying is, if this is gonna be your man and you're gonna stand beside him, then stop trying to blame Teresa and just take accountability. This is the type of man you're gonna be with, and because he fuels his pockets off of negativity and hate and unruly things, and that's what your relationship is going to consist of. And blaming Teresa is not going to magically make the relationship better. The person who you is with is a toxic person who wants to indulge in toxic things as long as it is lining his pockets. But yeah. It says, I keep feeling convicted talking about that lady, especially when the main culprit, just because I didn't like how she. So I stopped watching Trees just to keep it real. Right. Because it's, as humans, it's kind of like what, and I feel where you're coming from. Like if I'm watching somebody and I feel myself getting so invested in them that what they're doing is making me angry or something, I just won't watch. Like even with people who give commentary on people, and I feel like their commentary is negative or it's bullying, then I just can't indulge in it, because I don't want to then be overly invested and find myself having an issue with somebody who I don't know. So, I feel like people just need to learn how to kind of pull back and not overindulge in this internet thing. Like at the end of the day, this is just the internet. And and people are flawed. Everyone is flawed in their own way. Everyone is not perfect. Everyone does not get it right the first time. Everyone has their own share of chaos and chaos and drama. Everyone has something going on. And as long as you're not out here, you know, hurt nobody, doing it inappropriate to nobody, doing nothing, crazy to nobody. If you're just being your authentic, flawed self, then I can't knock you for it. Because people need to stop trying to bag people into a wall and condemn them for everything they do, and then be upset when they react, in a malicious way. And that's what people do to Trees all the time. They bag her into these corners. They nitpick the hell out of her life. They talk about her kids. They put a spotlight on everything that she does, and then are upset when she reacts. And it's kind of like, at the end of the day, does she have things that she needs to improve on? Definitely. But we're all human. We all got things we could be working on. And so, I just, I miss the days of where, you really could just sit down and watch people's content, and it's for the most part enjoyable. And people always have had drama on social media here and there, right? Like everyone's always had their fair share of things they've gone through. But now it's kind of like it's just every day is something else. It's like, dang, this is draining. I think that Tricia need to get all her kids back, get all of them back on the run roof, and just and take a break. You've made $1 million off Facebook so far. I'm pretty sure she got enough money in the bank to kind of chill for a while and just give us that good old school content we used to get, and just figure it out. Figure out how you're gonna maneuver so that way you don't have to. So that way it's not all this drama hitting you back to back every single day. Yes, the good old days, the cooking. I love those videos. It says, I think that was a lie of the Will story in having extra mothers. Oh, okay. He did that to make that lady jealous. He knew that lady was loving up on him like Jada and Elzino that young. But oh, okay. So he was trying to make somebody mad when he said that. Oh, okay. It says, yes, that's exactly what they do. When she speaks on it, they want to be a victim. Right. But I will say that it's a lot of Coco old fans don't mess with him no more now. Yeah, a lot of people are getting upset with him. A lot of people are not liking how he is treating Miss Lele, and a lot of people are starting to not support. So, he has to be very careful because, there's never going to be longevity and negativity. There's a way that you can positively, give your perspective and your opinion on things. And there's a way that you can positively indulge in this internet thing, but you're never going to win being hateful. You may win for a little while. You may benefit off of it and eat for a little while, but eventually it's going to all come crumbling down. I truly believe she's working on that. It's just a feeling. Yeah. I hope she gets all her kids back together then and just go back to the old school videos, cooking some good food, just sitting around with her kids and laughing, cutting up. Though that is the content that I truly miss. Just know I got some traffic tickets I gotta clear. I wonder if it can be done online, right? Yeah. Yeah. He is losing support, definitely, but yeah. So we just gonna have to stay tuned. We're gonna see how this all plays out. Like I said, I just the everyday drama and the if every day is something new, something else. It's kind of like, Lord, when it's gonna come to an end? I know that it's never gonna be completely over. I know there's always gonna be a little something here and there, but I just want Latrice to just be able to get back to doing what she do, because it just seems like she has not been able to get back to normal programming, because every time you turn around, it's something going on. Yes, I have a court date coming up on live for tickets. Okay, that's interesting. Look, technology is so advanced, you don't even have to leave your living room to go to court. But yeah, but thank y'all for hanging in here with me tonight. Like I said, I wasn't going to keep y'all too long. I know some of y'all probably got to get your kids in the bed or cook you something good to eat. And I'm going to go ahead and, just cook me something to eat or find me some fruit to eat or something. I don't even know if I feel like cooking tonight. But yeah, so I will see you all in my next video. If you are here and you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we're gonna keep up with it. We're gonna keep up with it. And it says, I bet KT won't actually post a real person, post a real reason. Yeah, I'm gonna need for her to give us a little bit more detail. If you're gonna come out with these accusations, give us the whole story, okay? But yeah, I'm gonna we're gonna keep up with it, and we're gonna come back and revisit the conversation. Hopefully, I can stay consistent. Like I said, I just be busy trying to be great, y'all. Just trying to be great, trying to make it. So I will see you all in my next video. Oh, much love to you too, Miss Darlene. But much love to everybody. I will see y'all in my next video. Good night, and thank you all for your continued support. See y'all later.